What's going on, Nerd Squad, and welcome back to Top 10 Nerd. Supervillains are always fun, you know? The way they want to rule the world and then make humans slaves to some intergalactic organization, or maybe they just want to rule over a business. You know, whatever the case, when you give powers to a guy with mommy and daddy issues, he could turn into a web crawler and take photos, or become a time-traveling ruler determined to eradicate all humans. Who knows? The choice is yours. So much excitement. So for today's list, we'll be breaking down 10 of our favorite supervillains, who of course are rulers. I'm Taylor McWatters, you're you, let's dive in. Kicking off the list at number 10, Apocalypse. Making his first steps in Marvel graphic novel issue 17, it's undeniable how intimidating this Omega level mutant is. This guy is loaded with powers, starting with energy absorption. That's right, Apocalypse can suck the energy from outside sources and then use that power to shoot blasts, or even use that power to enhance his own strength and speed. Okay, not a bad start, not a bad start at all. Just by looking at Apocalypse, you can see that he is merged with celestial technology, which is so OP, so overpowered. This technology is wired from his body into his equipment to his headquarters, making Apocalypse able to teleport at all times. Kind of like Alexa, how it's at your home and then it's here and you're like, hey, open my blinds. It's great. He's connected, you know? Self-molecular manipulation allows for him to alter his physical form. And he's also a super genius, especially when it comes to advanced technology that I, of course, just mentioned. Even before being modified by this celestial ship giving him this technology, Apocalypse was already living for thousands of years. He just goes into this coma and then he heals up. Talk about a beauty sleep, eh? He's the ruler of all rulers. I mean, come on. From 1995, we see just how big and bad he can get. Oscar Isaac also had a swing at him in X-Men Apocalypse, which I thought was great. I thought he was pretty scary. When he gets big and slams, nightmare fuel, just nightmare fuel. Before we get into some Doctor Doom goodness, if you guys could go ahead and give us a thumbs up down below, because it goes a long way for us here at the studio. Thank you so much. Number 9, Doctor Doom. Making his first appearance in Fantastic Four issue 5, Victor Von Doom. He likes to go head to head with the Fantastic Four, of course. He's one of the most popular Marvel villains ever. He's not easy to forget. He thinks he's right all the time. He's kind of stubborn like that, you know? He actually thinks he would do a good job ruling the world, and that's the trouble. With all these big rulers, they legitimately think they would do a good job, and it's like, no, you have a hood, you look evil. Just look at yourself, dude. He's so smart. I mean, maybe he's right. I don't know. We're not gonna give him a shot though. He is the ruler of the land Latveria. He really cares about this place, and in Fantastic Four 246, we see this compassion in full force. Compassion, I say. So why the taste for ruling? Well, each supervillain has their own path. And for Victor, he started turning into the dark side before he was even born. That's right, he got ahead of the schedule. His mother, a Latvian woman, liked to get close to demons, like close. And then after Victor was born, she would attempt to tap into those demonic demon powers herself. And her clan didn't like that at all. No. They actually killed her for it. She's a witch. Classic witchcraft stuff. What's 1 + 3? 4. Witch. Get her out of here, bye. So him and his dad were like, see ya, we're getting out of here, peace. Sadly, his dad ended up freezing to death trying to protect him from the cold. And then he figured he'd try this demonic power tapping thing himself, and with no luck, he returned to his brain power. Then he figured he'd try this demonic power tapping himself, and then he got so determined he decided to just use his brain power. He's a genius. And then of course that led to him meeting Reed Richards, and then Bob's your uncle. We got a supervillain, folks. Sad origin, but supervillain nonetheless. Number 8, the Maestro. All right, now we go to Incredible Hulk, Future Imperfect, all right? This is one of the best futures ever. It's so scary. So Future Imperfect, we see a version of the Hulk that's had enough of our shit, man. So making his first appearance in Incredible Hulk Volume 2, issue 401, his story takes place about 100 or so years in the future, hence the name. And this happens after a nuclear war puts the planet very close to extinction. Sounds like a rough time for us, but the Hulk was like, damn, that smells good. Give me all of that. Give me all this war material. Thank you. I'm just gonna eat this. Yeah, Maestro has been absorbing all of this nuclear radiation the entire time and ended up becoming the strongest thing on the planet. And of course, he's super evil. Yeah, forgot to mention, he's big, smart, angry, and a total nightmare to be around. Number 7, General Zod. Of course, kneel before Zod. Every time I hear that, I'm like, okay. Anytime, you let me know. What if this galactic federation we're hearing about on the news is actually just General Zod and he found us? Making his first debut in Adventure Comics issue 283, he's always wanted to rule. I mean, Michael Shannon made it clear when he played the angry god in Man of Steel himself. And I think he gets the message through quite early on in the film.
You believe your son is safe? I will find him. I will reclaim what you have taken from us.
Yeah, couldn't have said it better. He was the general in the Kryptonian army, that's how it all starts. But he had bigger and badder dreams, of course, to one day take over Krypton, and the Kryptonian Council, they didn't agree. But you know what? Screw them, they can get lost. Yeah, he's not much of a follower, you'd say. So when he gets released from his Phantom Zone and discovers nobody else is around, he's like, boom, this is my chance, let's rise to the top. And he even goes as far to get his own backup crew, which makes him an official supervillain who wants to rule. And he even named the crew appropriately titled the Disciples of Zod. I'd love to hand in an application. Let's do it. And we see them in Smallville too. They actually are quite cool. Number 6, Hela. Making her debut in Journey into Mystery issue 102, Hela, aka the Goddess of Death, ding ding ding, should tip you off, is the oldest of Odin's children and super evil. Yeah, you know she's gonna have a few tricks up her sleeve when she's the hidden daughter of Odin. That's good, it's always a nice title. She was Odin's personal executioner at first, and if that wasn't bad enough, she rides a giant wolf. In Thor Ragnarok, one of the biggest reveals that we see in the trailer, for some reason, was her breaking Thor's hammer. So she's super strong. With her bare hands, she breaks it like a pint glass. She's strong as hell. Hela is actually referenced to Norse mythology as the goddess of the dead, Hel. So when somebody dies in battle, they're sent to Valhalla by Odin's Valkyries. But when a dishonorable soul dies, it stays in the body until Hela comes around, and then she condemns it with her touch of death. Yeah, she doesn't even have to wait until you die either. If she's impatient, she can just kill a perfectly healthy Asgardian with just a little touch on the forehead. Hey, you got something on your face there. Yeah, you're dead. Made you look. Ruling kingdoms are cool and all, but ruling the afterlife? You got us beat. Now I can't bring up the mad ruling of death without, of course, mentioning number 5, Loki. Arguably one of the best characters of the MCU, Loki is the adoptive son of Odin. Odin's got to figure this whole children thing out, eh? Like, come on, man. But who are his real parents? So Loki Laufeyson, yes, that's his real last name, is the son of the frost giant Laufey. He was left as a baby, poor guy. He was abandoned in his homeworld on Jotunheim. During a battle, Odin had found the lost child and took him on as his own. What a sweetheart. So this child kills people with death, and this child's blue. It's like, all right, you're gonna have some problems. You put it on yourself. So when Loki finds out about his true heritage, we see this in the first Thor movie back in 2011. It's a great origin story. It's done really well. Then when Loki finds out all these secrets, his motives are peddled by being the offspring of an evil frost giant. So he gets a little upset. Fair. He always felt a little different growing up and often looked down on Thor as he got the most attention and love. I mean, all that hair, it's like, we get it, man, you're the cool guy. He was jealous of this ruling. So Odin had chosen not to tell Loki of his true heritage and raised him as one of his own, which we see as the central plot in the 2012 Avengers. He's the villain we love to hate. I'm honestly super excited to see him hop around from timeline to timeline in this new Loki show that's coming out. I mean, after all, this Loki that's used in the show is the same Loki from 2012 that is still determined to rule. So, we'll see, this guy's gonna get bigger and badder. Number 4, Kang the Conqueror. I mean, his name, come on. Nathaniel Richards, making his first appearance in Avengers issue 8 back in 1964. Kang has been seen many times during many centuries. See, his powers allow him to travel through time, and his futuristic suit of armor is built with weaponry that aren't really built for the faint of heart, exactly. He's super smart, of course, and he travels with armies. Hence the name. I mean, Kang the Conqueror, he's a ruler. He's already a ruler. I hear this name and I'm like, yeah, he's the shit. So with each warrior equipped with the same armor and weaponry that he has, they're like unstoppable. The time travel stuff doesn't come without consequence though, so as Kang travels more and more through time, he creates these time-displaced duplicates. We gotta love those. We love dealing with more bad stuff. So Kang's actually already cast in the live-action MCU. He's being played by Jonathan Majors, who's an amazing actor. So it seems like Marvel's really going full-time multiverse craziness. My body's ready, my brain is not. Number 3, Ultron. So in the comics, it's actually Hank Pym that creates Ultron. See, in the MCU, it's Tony and Bruce. In the comics, it's Hank Pym, who fans just love. We love Hank Pym. He's the best. Super nice. No problems at all with that guy. Ultron made his first debut back in 1968 in Avengers 54. and beneath the crimson cowl. We discover it is indeed Ultron him. There are many versions of Ultron, seeing as he constantly wants to upgrade himself to be bigger, badder, smarter, and more evil. He actually has the same brain patterns as Hank Pym, so makes sense. He figured it needed a personality, kind of like how our MCU version of Ultron is basically like a dick version of Tony Stark, but with more jealousy issues. Kind of the same with Hank Pym. A good example of his ruling comes from Age of Ultron, that 2013 series that I love. Like right off the bat, we see a dark, life-drained world, and then Spider-Man wakes up from a nap like, what'd I miss? Anything big happen? The voice, did I miss the voice? Oh, Ultron's ruling? Sick. Yeah, Ultron's attacking from the future. That's how ahead of the game this guy is. Number 2, Morgan Le Fay. Medieval witches and alternate timelines, that should say enough, I think maybe. Making her first appearance in Black Knight issue 1 back in 1955, Morgan Le Fay is based off of the Arthurian legend, so she's got a little bit of King Arthur, a little bit of evil magic, and 100% reason to remember the name. She's tried to rule the world many times, specifically after the events of Onslaught, where our Avengers go to an alternate Earth, and then when they get back in Heroes Reborn, The Return, we have this new world filled with mythical bad creatures. Of course, being ran by Morgan Le Fay. Yeah, she got her hands on the Norn Stones and then made Scarlet Witch add her magic to the mix. Equals a lot of bad. We got Captain America, he's like a medieval captain. It's good fun. And finally, number 1, of course, Thanos. The Mad Titan first made his comic book debut back in Iron Man issue 55. So we all know how powerful Thanos is with a fully charged Infinity Gauntlet, but what about without the gauntlet? Thanos is still a warrior you don't want to screw around with. He was born on the Saturn moon Titan, both his parents were Eternals, and due to the genetic disorder known as the Deviant Syndrome, his mother actually tried to kill him at first sights. So that whole phrase, a face only your mother would love. No, not always. Sorry. It's so sad. I mean, he got payback, don't worry, he got payback. He killed his entire family to impress Death, so he's making moves. Yeah, in the comics, his motivation to snap the entire world away is to get the attention of Death. In the movie, he does it to be a savior, too many mouths to feed, not enough to go around. Although we see Titan, there's like, they're doing the whole social distance thing. It looks great, it's like a utopia, whatever, I'm not gonna talk about that. There's actually a great miniseries called Thanos Wins, written by Donny Cates. Yeah, that shows what a full-on evil leader Thanos looks like. He's not putting on a kettle and hanging out in a farm in this one. No. He goes to the future and sees that he's wiped out all life in the universe. Well, mostly all life. So older Thanos sees younger Thanos and he's like, hey, you know what? You can actually help me kill off these pesky last few. And then Death will love me, or us, or you, or me, or both? I don't know, time travel's weird. Well, there you guys have it. Which of these ruling supervillains are your favorites? Who are your favorites from those lists, guys? Let us know down below. Also, let us know who we missed so we can add them in for a sneaky little part 2. Thank you so much for watching. I'm your host, Taylor McWatters, and we'll see you next time. Be safe. Bye.